CultureBuzz's Shalom. My name is Chanan Mazal. I was born in the U.S. I've been living in Israel for 33 years now, here in Jerusalem. And welcome to my exhibition, Ongepatchket. Ongepatchket is a funny word. It means over-decorated in Yiddish. And the root of the word is the word patch, which, like in English, means patch. My work, as you can see, is very similar to patchwork. Lots of ornaments, sort of patched together. But the word, look at it a little bit closer if you like. Maybe we'll go inside and I'll continue explaining after that. In the book of Genesis, there's a story about Jacob, who worked for his father-in-law Laban, who was a pretty nasty piece of work. And after 14 years of working for Laban, he asked to receive his salary. They negotiated, and he suggested that Jacob will take all the goats and sheep that are dotted and patched, nakot v'tolu, and he'll leave the monocolored sheep and goats for his father-in-law and his father-in-law's sons. Then once again you hear the word patch, the dotted and the patched sheep. And he abandoned the, you might say, the minimalistic aesthetics for his his father-in-law, and he kept all the decorated stuff for himself. This particular piece is one of my newer pieces. It was done in oil paint. And you can see that I really sculpted. You can even look over here, in this section. I really dug into the paint to create it. It's many, many layers of work. Most of my paintings are like that. I work with all kinds of techniques, like pouring turpentine on top of the paint or in acrylics water to let it melt. You can see similar work in the one next door over here. This is part of a series of many paintings that I made of cypress trees on red fields. And I love touching the paintings. So for some reason, it seems that most of the people that come to visit ask permission to touch the paintings as well. Well, I had never seen a cypress tree until I came here for my first visit when I was 15 years old. You know, cypress trees, olive trees, pomegranate trees, palm trees don't grow in New York. And they fascinated me. Go down to the far end over here. By the way, this is another one. If you look closely, you can see the way I let the chemistry of turpentine work in the background here. And this is built layer upon layer upon layer of pattern. Olive trees don't exist in New York either. And, this one I didn't actually do the leaves naturally. I really wanted to capture part of the hauntedness that you feel in the trunks and the wood of olive trees. Especially the more ancient they are, the more fascinating they are. And I think this brings me to another subject, that one of the last subjects I wanted to talk about, and that is the fact that I paint and work here in the land of Israel. I have no aspirations to be part of the Berlin art scene. Even in my more abstract work, there's always something that I feel is very, very related and tied into the land of Israel, and part of our culture. We're not German, we're not American, we're not French, we're Jewish, we're Israeli, we're living here. I'm always in contact with the art scene outside the large art scene, yet I really want to create something that is somehow expressive of the aesthetics, the light, the noisiness and the friendliness and the never minding your own business and everything else that is part of Israeli culture and our ancient connections. Maybe talk about this one last painting. This painting I called in Hebrew Shar Hagai. Shar Hagai is when you come to Israel and you go from the airport towards Jerusalem, the highway suddenly enters mountains, and at that particular location in 1947, there was a series of terrible battles. And Jerusalem was completely cut off. There was no drinking water, no food. The city was in total siege until that area, the hills surrounding the mountains on either side, mountains come down, right next to the road, and until they were captured. And I think this painting, I tried to capture some of the sense of the maze that there is at that place, the labyrinth of the road winding through the mountains, even though here it's all in straight lines. And once again, I'd like to thank you for watching this film, and hope that if any of you do come to Jerusalem, that you come and see my work. And right now it's at the Jerusalem Theater until June 11th. Thank you. Bye-bye. Shalom.